We start with the unboxing, and the only thing of note here is either my knife is getting dull or this tape is actually really good, because I was having a hard time getting the cut through it cleanly, without, of course, digging right in and possibly cutting something that shouldn't be cut. So something a little different here is they wrapped the printer in a protective bag, which they then taped to a couple of the inner lids of the box. Because of that, it kind of ruined the inner surface of the box, so hopefully that won't affect the integrity of the box if I need to send it back for repairs. Alright, I was able to get this off with minimal damage, just a small little tear on the front booklet. Not too happy about the taping on the booklet, but whatever, it's fine. It's still usable. Now the thing is that I have to try and remember how this all goes together, because I've heard that there's a few things on here that might fail that aren't exactly user repairable, so if you need to send this in for repairs or warranty or anything like that, it needs to be set up, it needs to be packaged up pretty much the same way. It doesn't have to be, but if any damage happens in the shipping, they don't cover it. They said that at least. So that's kind of fucking bogus, especially that, you know, this thing is so freaking expensive. I don't know how you're supposed to keep everything sturdy, especially if you don't have this box sitting right in the middle. So, I don't know. They also have this thing, they have the head zip tied down and all that, so I don't know if you're supposed to also zip tie it down again. Bunch of silica in here. Looks like the styrofoam has a pocket for it. And they just painters taped over it because it's not important to have in there, but they don't want it to get out. Oh geez, I don't know if I'm going to get this tape out of here, or the plastic. There we go. The thing isn't exactly light, but I think it's a little lighter than Flash Forge one that I had, despite this one having a much bigger build volume. I'm sure it'd probably be heavier if it had the enclosure and stuff. I don't know what I'm supposed to be taking, how I'm supposed to take this apart. Remove the foam from the excess chute. Is that it? I guess so. Remove the cardboard from the tool head and cut the zip ties, I guess. It only shows this zip tie, however. This one that's right in front of it. So, some of those zip ties were a little difficult. Or, well, there's two of them. One of them had, the one that was in front of it had this red tag, but there's nothing on it. So I don't know what that's about. I cut the other zip tie off of this cardboard, which they say should just lift off, but I don't think that that's actually possible, because it's like, they have this tube. Oh, what the fuck, Jesus. What the hell is this? They have this tube in the way. Do they want me to break it, or do they want me to cut it? They have this cardboard little thing here that I can undo it. They didn't but you have to like really bend the flaps to get it through there, so I don't know. Seems kind of dumb to have these one-time protective things, at least they seem like they're one-time protective things. And then this thing fell out while I was trying to get the whole tube and whatever out of the way. Spool holder and PTFE tube anchor assembly. Remove the screws as pictured with Allen key H2. Whatever that is, I guess I have to open this box now. It says that it will have, yes, it says it'll have a module in there. It says it'll have the hot end in there. Maybe a spare one, because I don't know. It also says that it'll have like maybe a test, it'll have a filament for testing in it. And taped this freaking thing up. It's taped on every part of the box. I'm not sure which side actually opens. It must be this side, hopefully. That's the side I'm going to be cutting. It's basic PLA, and they gave me green. They didn't let me select it or anything, so they just happened to get that correct. That's cool. And this is their filament that works with their ABS or whatever it's called, something like that. I'll still probably be using Polymaker filament and then using the printing some rails for it, but I don't even have an ABS yet. I wanted it. I wanted the multicolor maker because that's what I originally wanted, but unfortunately you have to spend $300. I almost said $3,000. You have to spend an extra $350 plus the machine to get that color picker thing. So that's cool. So that brings it up to $1,000 machine. I also bought the version without. Oh dear God, what is going on in here? I got a whole lot of stuff going on in here. They got like weird roller things and stuff. I bought the version that isn't enclosed because that was the same amount as the FlashForge creator. Now that this one came down in price $100, except for they make you pay for shipping. They have free shipping on orders over like $100 or something, except for on the printers and the ABS machine. Are you stupid? Like, really? Your main export is 3D printers, but you won't offer you'll offer free shipping on anything else besides these things? Now, at least the shipping was only $25, at least for me. I don't know if it's going to be different for other people. But yeah, it still is a little ridiculous to have to pay that on top of the like $60 in tax, or like $40, I don't know. It was a lot in taxes because I live in Arizona. And then, of course, there's the $600 for this machine. So overall, I'm not happy spending that much. However, it's at this point, it's kind of a necessity to have a good, reliable 3D printer. And this thing better be reliable, or I'm going to have some words. So this thing came with a corrosion protector on it. The power plug came with a weird, like, 3-prong corrosion protector, so that's interesting. I don't think there's any protector plugging the holes. At least there's nothing plugging the holes, but it looks like there's plastic on the inside of the universal power adapter. But yeah, it looks like it's not. I don't know. It's not protected like the other thing was. It's rated for 125. I don't know if there's a setting on the printer to switch it or not. We'll see. There's this thing, and then we have an extra PTFE tubing. It's not Capricorn or anything. I don't know if it's going to matter or not, but yeah, we have it. And we did have some Allen keys. We have 2 Allen keys and an itty-bitty screw included in this huge bag. This Allen key here is freaking long. Do you see this? It's all the way down here, all the way up to here. That thing is freaking huge. You're going to get a lot of leverage on that one when you turn it sideways. It wants us to do something with the Allen key. Ooh, there's also a tiny, like, spring or something in here. Oh, it's a nozzle cleaner. So that little black thing is just a blocker for a nozzle cleaner that's in here. Okay. So let's figure out where this thing wants us to try and unscrew something. It's on a side with belts. Well, they both have belts, so that's great. I don't know where this is. Secure the spool holder with 2 screws from the accessory box. Well, I don't even know where the screws are. For hot end, this one's unlabeled. PTFE tube anchor, but that's not what we got, what we're working on. For printed phone holder. Bro, what? For DIY shell. Oh, so if you do your own rims, or enclosure, I guess. For scraper, I don't have that yet. For extruder. For spool holder, that's what we're working on, right? Spool holder and PTFE tube anchor. Secure this 2 screws from the accessory box. Well, this spool holder only has 2 screws. So this is a spool holder? That's a little strange. It's not even rounded, really. I mean, it's got rounded edges, but oh my God, where the hell does this go, dude? You see, the problem with this machine for me is it doesn't really work with my space. I don't understand why companies think it's a good idea to put a bunch of stuff on the back of the machine. So I'm probably going to have to run this machine either angled like this or fully turned to the side like so. Which this is probably how I'm going to run it because of the poop shooter, whatever people call it. I'm also not sure which way this goes quite yet. I have to look that up. I'm guessing that this, of course, is the way it's supposed to go with the holes. There's an extruded side on one of these, so I don't know how that's going to work with it. There's no indent on the screw things, so let me look at this again, of course. So it shows it right here. Oh, it even has a little sticker that says spool holder on it. And that has the indent. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess. Does it have the indent? Will it let me put it in there? Oh my god. This is gonna be frustrating. It doesn't look like this is actually... It doesn't even look like it's supposed to go in there, honestly, but it says it does, so... Is that what this hole... Is that what this hole on the end is for? Is simply for sticking a screwdriver through it? Or a hex driver? Oh, and that's probably why this is so long, too, so you can get in there. This isn't even going in, dude. Am I missing something here? Oh, I think it said there was something I was supposed to unscrew. I keep dropping things off my table here because I'm trying to lean on it. Okay, so this side is a screw, so I've been trying to screw a screw into a screw. So that's definitely not a good thing. Okay, so this is an even tinier screw. Has some blue on the threads. I don't know if it's going to be able to... Of course it's not going to show it. Alright, whatever. Well, there's blue on the threads. I don't know why. I don't know what I use that for now. It's probably a wasted screw or something. And that actually opened up the gap that's needed to be in there. Before I do anything, let me frickin' read, because otherwise I'm going to have another thing of me trying to screw a screw into a damn screw. Yeah, it just says to put it in there. Okay, we got one side in, I think. Is this supposed to go on the other side? Oh my god, really? So this screw, the screw I put into the side with the divot, has no extra little bit underneath the thing. So now I'll show you this one. It might have been just fucking fine. This one, I thought it had a divot on the bottom, but it doesn't. Doesn't seem like the most sturdy thing, but you know, it'll work, I guess, maybe. God, sometimes these screws get messing with me. I turn it to the right, it seems like it's getting looser. I turn it to the left, and it actually gets looser. I don't imagine I need to actually wrench this down or anything, but I want it to be fairly tight. There we go. That's a spool holder, I guess. And it looks like there's some sort of port right here underneath it, which that's a very inconvenient spot for a spool holder, if that's something you're supposed to plug in. I'm guessing this is for the AMS maybe, because you shouldn't need the spool holder if you have the AMS. That'd be the only logical thing that port would be for. Step 3, secure the PTFE tube anchor, right, with 2 screws from the accessory box. So I think that those are actually labeled, thank God. I guess it goes here? I'm gonna have to look at the manual probably a couple times before I screw this on here. So it's in that area, but it's actually up here. Yeah, okay, and it's supposed to go like this? What? How does that work? I guess you can tilt it because there's a little thingy on, there's a little there, there's these things, so you have your center point and then you can rotate it for some reason, or it can rotate itself, because then these screws are also specialized and they have a smooth area with the threads. That's hard to see, but yeah, it has a smooth area with the threads so that it's it can slide on there freely as well, and it fits on in there pretty good, so at least the tolerance is good on that. It also looks like it has the ability to replace both sides if you need to, because it has the locking mechanism on this side and the input, so the input and the output can be replaced. I wonder if the output would need to be replaced, or if they need to use that second PTFE tubing as it is. Okay, here we are. Maybe. There we are. Is this going in properly? Okay. So now we need this. Okay, so this can tilt that way. That's a little weird. So the thing bends outwards like that, which is probably to accommodate the spool going in that way, and then the other side goes towards the head, which is currently over on this side. But when the head goes over here, it's going to pull this straight, which seems like it's going to kind of bother and agitate the flow and the grip of trying to put the filament in, you know? It just seems like it's a little, like it might not work properly, but, you know, people say it works, so. Place the PTFE tube as pictured. Make sure both ends of PTFE tube are inserted tightly. So it wants us to insert PTFE into here and into the actual hot end area. Let's start with the hot end area. Alright, so here's the problem I'm having. In the hot end area, I just kind of stuck it in, but it gripped it, but now I can't get it out, and I don't know how to get it out. I don't know where the latch is to pull it out. Ow, there's a lot of sharp things in here too. Oh, is this it? No? What the hell is that? Am I supposed to electronically release it or something? That seems like a bad idea. And this needs to be pushed down to then have this inserted, and that's gripping on there. Hot bed unlock and screen installation. Remove the 3 screws with an Allen key H2 to unlock the hotbed. Excuse me, what? Okay, I see now. So it's going to be probably hard to see, but there are screws. Oh, and they even have red arrows pointing to them. There's a screw behind right here. You can see my finger, a little red dot that's pointing towards the screw that you need to unscrew. There's one here, one over here, and one back here. This one's probably going to be hard to get at least unscrew, because of this back panel being here and everything else in the way. Let's see if it's the big one. It's the big one, of course. The big one always seems like the little one's included, but I never know for what, because usually it doesn't actually get used. But once again, I unscrew this now, and I guess I have to try and remember to keep these, because I need to screw it down again, I guess, when I have to send it back for maintenance, or, you know, just repairing. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm worried about most, is having to send this thing back for repairs, because if anything goes wrong in shipping for any reason, I get screwed for it. And I don't know how to properly package this thing up again, and it's going to be a real hassle. I think they've said they might have a guide online on how to repackage the printer, which I sure hope to God they do, if that's going to be their policy on shipments for maintenance, or not even maintenance, but you know, repairs and stuff. Now what? Now it's saying to attach the screen panel. Insert the LCD cable into the port by plugging it into the terminal as pictured. Bend the LCD cable towards the opening on the back of the screen as pictured, because it's a ribbon cable, and I imagine, oh, it's not a ribbon cable, it should be good. Hopefully, but it shouldn't. Hopefully you don't want to break those connections. Insert the screen and slide it to the side because it has hook connections. So the first thing we need to do is unattach this, which is attached on here by whatever this fancy tape is. This tape is weird. It's almost like Band-Aid material looking stuff. I don't know if... Of course, this camera doesn't have good enough resolution to be able to pick up on the fine details of it, but it has like almost a fabric-like material that's kind of like Band-Aids. So I heard a lot of things about the screen. I heard that it's even worse than the Ender 3 one. I kind of don't like that there's exposed components on the PCB back here, but there's only so much you can do, so hopefully it's not that big of a deal. So we're gonna try and like hook this in here. There's like this serial port, or whatever this is, what you'd like to call it, back here that I have to try and get in there, but they don't give you a lot of playroom with this little itty bitty wire here. It's gonna go like this. Are we in? It looks like we're halfway in, halfway out, but I can't tell. Well, it looks like it's as in as it's gonna get. So we'll push this in here, hopefully. Wow, they don't give you a lot to work with on that. And it's gotta slide in that side, okay. Yeah, it's definitely not in there if it unlocks. I can tell you I definitely don't like this screen already, simply for its connecting crap. Oh, there we go. I heard a little click. I don't know if that was audible on the camera or not. Okay, so now we push it in, or not. I don't know what this, there's a little bit underneath here. I don't know what that's about. No, it's because I'm upside down. It's because I'm upside down. The OK was upside down, I should have known. There we go. It wasn't exactly a beautiful sound, but it's on there. So I hope that it's not gonna break or anything. It in fact was a kind of a scary sound. It sounded like it could have been bad. But I'm gonna hope that's not. Printer binding. Download the Bambu Handy app. Register and log in to your Bambu account. I don't have one. Well, I probably do now that I've ordered something from them. Connect the printer to power? Are you serious? I can't turn this thing on manually? Follow the instructions on the screen until getting to the page shown to the right side. Use Bambu Handy to scan QR code on the screen. What? How am I supposed to turn on my printer with the app that isn't even connected to my printer yet? What the hell's the point of this thing then? I have this like weird spine thing. I don't even know what that's for. I have to plug this thing in. They didn't even tell me to plug it in. I still have the freaking cord here. I also have to turn this back around to try and get at it. Okay, so there is a power switch down here. There's a big red one and it's kind of ambidextrous and it's not in the way. The power plug isn't in the way of it, which was a major gripe of the last printer that I had, because it seemed like they were just doing a lot of the little things wrong on the Flash Forge. I don't remember if it's better to plug in. I think it's better to plug in the machine first and then to the wall, because if you plug it into the wall, then you have the power running through it, and then it makes sparks when it jumps to the machine. Honestly, usually it doesn't matter, but with a expensive machine like this, I don't want any possibilities. I plugged it in. It wants me to turn it on. Ugh. Sir? I haven't even taken the foam out from underneath this thing yet either. I shouldn't need the poop chute to worry about the poop chute yet, because I don't have a thing up AMS, but it probably is still going to use it a little bit. Before use, please make sure that you have read the user manual carefully. Okay. Wait 3 seconds. How about you fuck yourself? Please make sure that you have removed the screw for the fixed hotbed. I did, but I needed to raise up so I can get the plastic out. Select region. North America? Yeah. Scan the QR code to configure Wi-Fi and user account on Bambu Handy app. Ugh, it does say set up later, so I don't necessarily need to do it, but I guess let's do it since I'm doing kind of a review anyway. Bambu Handy, install. Rated E for everyone. Thank God. Bambu Handy is safe to open, said by my AVG app says. Alright, thank you. I'd hope it would be. I guess I have to agree to their privacy thing. Allow them to send me notifications. I swear to God, if this thing sends me notifications for no reason, I'm going to allow it, because I'm hoping that there's going to be like useful drop-down taskbar hints or whatever you want to call them. But I swear to God. Recommended for beginner. Bambu Lab X1 series. Yeah, if you're a beginner and have $2,000. So I'm guessing plus. That's where I have to sign in. I don't know if I have a password though. No password saved for Bambu Handy. Well, yeah. Continue with Google. To proceed, you must agree. Fuck you! They want me to agree to their shit before being able to sign in with my freaking Gmail. Allow Bambu Handy to find, connect to, and determine the relative position of nearby devices? I mean, I guess I have to. Bambu, it wants to access your location. Why? Fine. Do an approximate. Unbound devices, BBL printer. Oh, Bambu Lab printer, okay. It gives me a bunch of numbers, so I have no idea if it's actually mine or not. We asked for your help to improve everyone's printing. Statement about user experience improvement program. So can you not resell a Bambu Lab printer? Because it's going to be binded to your account permanently? This sounds like some horse shit happening around here. Pairing request. Pair and connect, I guess. Why would the printer need to access my call history and contacts? No. Fun fact, you're not gonna get to do that. Cause why? Am I gonna pick up a f***ing cell phone call from my 3D printer? Jesus Christ. There's a code being displayed on here, but I don't know what that means. Pair. Bluetooth disconnected, please reconnect. How about you fuck yourself, huh? You ever think about that? What is happening? So right now it says, okay, pairing request, pair and connect. Fine, access all of my data. I'm so confused. Bluetooth pairing code. Pair. Yeah, I know. What am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to press this? Pair. I hate Bluetooth shit. I hate this app. I hate everything. Ooh. Select your Wi-Fi. Alright. Import Wi-Fi password. Let me see if I remember it. I think did I do it right? It just continues to have a circling thing saying binding. Error code. Invalid password. How do I not know the password to my own frickin' internet, dude? Alright, so I have my puppies with me now. You can probably see, you might be able to see. There's Allie. There she is. And Nova's over here too. So there's the pups. They're gonna be in my way. I finally got the thing paired over the internet. Well, it's not even actually paired yet. The app doesn't recognize it, but there's no QR code up here anymore, and it just says run self-test. So now it's just gonna go, I guess. I have to get this freaking plat. There we go. Alright, cool. Got the foam out of there. There's a bunch of these little additions that I'm still not sure. Well, it looks like it's having fun. There's a lot of lube in there. Holy crap. Nova. Yes, I see you, baby. So it looks like the build size is about the same as the Ender 3. That's what this... It says the build volume size on the thing here, which is 256 millimeters in every axis. It's making funny noises, wiggling up and down. There's still a lot of stuff that looks like it needs to be done, but it seems like it's just doing its own thing at this point. Because like I still have these things. I don't know what these rollers are for. I hope this thing can calibrate properly because my table is not very sturdy. Don't silly baby. It's shaking the whole fucking floor. Well, that's kind of scary. It's kind of getting into like sub, or at least it was getting into sub vibration territory. I was feeling it more than I was hearing it in the floor, which is quite impressive. I know that's part of why it can move so fast is because of some of the anti-backlash technology or something like that. It's currently measuring how the machine vibrates, I think, and then it's gonna have software that compensates for that vibration. It's also making high-pitched noises that are like from like the old CRT TVs. It's also making other noises now. The hell's all? Alright, so the head is shaking around now. The second I went to go and touch the bed, it started shaking. Oh jeez, it's ramping up again. God, this thing sounds like a fucking bomb. It also sounded like something was loose in there, kinda. Okay, self-test complete. Enjoy. Wait, your printer is ready. Enjoy printing. I don't believe you, honestly. I don't feel like all my parts are together. Did I miss something in this quick start guide? Maybe those things are just replacement, like, rollers in the back here? Oh yeah, it looks like that. That's what it looks like. Stop licking me! It looks like they are replacement little wipers for the poop chute area. Let me look in the book, double check, and now it's talking about my first print. It just alright, well, and then it talks about Bambu Studio. It sounds like it should be loaded up. Does it have an SD card or anything? Oh, it's right. It doesn't have SDs or anything. So the first thing we have to do is get the filament in there. Insert the filament into the PTFE tube. Keep pushing the filament until it cannot move forward. You recommend using Supplied PLA Basic for your first test print. And it tells me to do that first and not to warm it up or anything. So it's just telling me to jam it into the hot end, I guess. Which there is a hot end in there and everything. So what is this? So in this box we have a little thing of thermal grease. And then there's like 4 packets of this Bambu lube. We have a free-floating just hot end in here. Oh, 3D printing adhesive, so it's probably just a glue stick. There's this box. And it looked like it was going to be a real fancy something or other, like maybe like a bed leveling thing, but it says 3D printing adhesive. How much you want to bet it's just a big glue stick? Holy shit, it's not a glue stick. What the hell is that? This is some sort of mystery substance. What in tarnation is that? Strong adhesive, easy release, simple, clean. PLA, ABS, PETG. Press head to open valve. Interesting. So maybe this is like a nanopolymer type thing, like this. I forgot who makes it. Polymaker? No, it's not Polymaker. It's Vision Miner. Maybe it's something like that. I'll have to try some of that. Maybe. I don't. Hopefully, this printer won't need it. But who knows? I haven't needed any adhesive on my Ender 3 since I got the G10 build plate because that thing works so well on its own. And I have my printer, my Ender 3 dialed in pretty good. It's just a matter of getting it, you know, it was a matter of getting it to stick because I didn't have my build, I had a metal flex build plate before. New firmware is available. Do you want to update now? Oh, okay, so I'm updating the printer now, which it automatically did by connecting to the internet, I guess? But yet my printer isn't actually connected to the phone. Oh, my printers. Okay, I can't select it. Device idle, and it gives me an active freaking menu showing me temperatures and I guess print speed is this one. And it actually gives me a progress on the firmware. It's probably hard to see, but it's at 66%. 80 actually now. Of course this thing's having a hard time focusing. It also says on the printer that it's 82. Sorry, you can't really see that right now. So hopefully, if you wanted to run a print farm with these things, it would be pretty easy to do with this app. You'd think, at least. I don't know. I can't afford to buy more than... I could barely even afford the one that I have, so let alone more than one or more than 2, you know. Oh, the firmware is successfully updated. Okay, so now it's showing that. It shows calibration, auto sleep in 15 minutes. It says language and it shows a star. Download language pack to SD card. Do you want to continue? No. But also it says SD card. Oh, that's right, there is an SD. It's just taped down right here. And I remember someone complaining that they couldn't really get into the SD slot. And I think that was because it was completely flat before, but they do have an indent now. And I can feel the SD card kind of sticking out, so they probably fixed that. At least by the looks of it. The only thing I'm having trouble getting at is getting this tape off. I should have done this before I put on the screen, but I didn't tell me to, so I didn't know. There's still some other tapes around the machine that I don't know if I was supposed to remove. You know, it seems like obvious that you would remove it, but you know, it is how it is. Let's see what else is showing me. The only other option is some numbers and a factory reset. Oh, but we were halfway down, we were in the last 75%. So we can name, it has a model name that's just displayed. It shows how much you get on the SD card. They gave me a 30 gigabyte SD card, that's quite nice. They show the LAN name, they show what account I'm logged into. So you could re-log in to a different account, I think. So it's not locked down, thank God. And that's under settings, I think. So then this shows files that I guess are on the SD card. Scraper grip, bed scraper, vase, squishy turtle, Spartan, screw gauge, scraper grip, phone stand, thermometer gauge, mini tray, honeycomb organizer. I might need to look through these files on the computer to make this a little more bearable to look at. So then this is just a manual movement thing, maybe? It appears so. Can I turn this up? I can. Okay. I don't wish to right now. And that's just the home. It says ready to print. Alright. Well, the first thing I need to do is actually need to get the filament in there. I forgot to do that. So, like I said, they gave me green filament, which is quite nice. Green's kind of my color. I didn't get to select it, and I had zero contact with these people other than ordering the printer, so they just happened to get that right. So this is their filament. I don't know if they actually make the filament or if they just spool it and put their name on it. Or not spool it, if they put their name on a spool. Either way, they call it their filament because it works with their ABS. No, ABS is the plastic. Anyway, the filament, special filament thing that lets you print different filaments. They also taped the end of this. I'm not a big fan of that, but I think they did that to not kink the filament by putting it in the storage holes, which is something that I get kind of bothered about as well. So I don't know which I prefer. This tape thing, because they wrapped this a few times, which I'm not super happy about, but I did manage to get it off. So we need to kind of like tilt this thing to the side here. Honestly, this is just kind of inconvenient the way that this whole thing is oriented, at least for my situation at the moment. I'm putting the filament upside down for the loading because it's just the most easiest way to get the filament to track into the filament grabber here. Oh my god, I can't even get it back there. But turn it all the way around, at least for the most part. Maybe I am supposed to turn it the other way around because then it angles. It seems like one way or another it's going to be inconvenient for the printer having this little pivot thingy here. The benefit of having this white PTFE tubing is that you can actually see the filament going through. With like a Capricorn tube, you can't really tell where it is at in your tube because it's not an opaque material. So I can see that it's almost hitting the hot end, which it has fully hit it now. So now what? Let's get the quick start guide, look into it. Press the folder button to select a file to start the first print. And apparently there is a 3D Benchy in here. We recommend using one of the preloaded ones, alright? Select that thing and heat the nozzle to the recommended temperature for the filament. Why? Several times until the filament comes out of the nozzle. Oh, because that's part 2, so it's making sure that's actually loaded. So we need to go on our device here. We need to select a nozzle option. So we need to change the temperature to 200 degrees. It makes me sit here and press the button 20 times because it goes up 10 if you press up. So you need to go up to 200, which is quite annoying. So now that thing's going. Kind of frustrating to maneuver this, not maneuver, but work the thing. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. We're going to put the build plate at 60 because that's where I like it personally. And then it says to heat the nozzle to the recommended temperature, select E and down. Can I turn the light on? I have a little LED light. I didn't think that was included, but cool, it is. So we can have the LED on, that's cool. It doesn't give you different colors like the Flash Forge, but the light is a nice touch either way. Select the E and press down several times until the filament comes out of the nozzle. 5, 6, 7. Oh, there it goes. So there's that. I got it to come out of the nozzle. It's shooting down the poop chute right now. Just made me waste a bit of filament, but that's okay. I'm still figuring it out, and it came with the printer, I guess. So now it says to start a print, you have to go down to the file thing, which can be kind of frustrating because this thing just kind of goes. There's no organization as far as I can tell, because supposedly there's a 3D Benchy in here included, but I can't find it. At least I haven't seen it so far. So it started at the top of the list, and I just pressed up to go to the bottom of the list, and it just showed up. So that's cool. It says it should take about 18 minutes and 19 seconds, I guess? What the fuck? Well, it just shot this out, so that's cool. It's probably heating up the bed still, isn't it? It does not say what it's doing. They have the bed set at 65 Celsius, so it's printing a little hotter. They also have the hot end temperature set at 250 Celsius, so it's also heating up to that. That's a little hotter than I usually like to set my stuff at. But yeah, like I said, there's still some extra parts. Like there's these extra screws that say 4 extruder. There's this thing. This thing's terrifying, dude. This thing's like an industrial piece of machinery and it's terrifying. This thing will rip your freaking arm off like a lathe. And then there's this thing that says for hot end and it has this little clip and then these 2 screws and it's like, what? They give you these 3M magnets and it says for scraper. So I guess instead of including a metal scraper, they expect you to 3D print your own scraper and then magnetize it to your machine with these magnets. It's certainly one way of being something. I don't know, frugal about your price, I guess. That thing was freaking making a racket, so I hope that it quiets down a little bit. And then at some point I'm going to have to clean up this mess that this thing has created, because I have all this styrofoam, but I have to keep it all, put it in like the shed or something. Anyway, I'm going to let this thing go and see how it turns out.